Hi there. First, a quick update. I moved into a new house in August, and the videos you've been seeing since then were recorded in the old house. So this is the first official video on my channel in this house. I had another Nintendo Force Magazine podcast, or NF Magazine podcast, that was filmed in this room. As you can see, this is the gaming room. It was important for me to unpack that first, but it's not totally unpacked either. This is a current video, so I am uploading it tonight, just so you get an idea of how hard it is to unpack some of the collection pieces. As for the collection, the gaming room obviously isn't set up, but the collection room nowhere near set up. Most of it is actually still in storage, and I'm having someone catalog it, which means they'll be going through each piece by piece and getting all the information that they can of it and getting a list of it so I can resubmit the total number to Guinness and maybe have a larger number than the 8,020 that they counted, which I know was low, but I've already gone into that. So that was a quick update. Let's jump right in to some new items. Let's see, one I'm particularly proud of, and I really owe this to MarioManic on the forums. He posted this in the Auctions of Interest forum, and it is the Toy Site model kit that Toy Site had at a toy fair in 2000. I believe that was in New York. And we saw this thinking it was a action figure. But it is, I mean, you can kind of tell from the photo that it looks like it's clay in that photo. Well, there's good reason for that. That may be a rendered image, because here's another card that came with it of another angle of the figure. Now it says on the inside of the box, Mario 64 prototype for Nintendo pitch, Avatar 1997 Avatar Creations from James Hackala. Now, he's the guy on eBay I bought it from. So I presume that he's the sculptor. He said he was the sculptor. But it's weird because we know we saw this on the Toy Site Toy Fair section. So this was maybe pitched to Toy Site but not picked up. But Toy Site decided to run with some of the images related to this. So that's how we ended up with it. It says, sculpted by James Hackala, this figure was created as a prototype for a Mario 64 toy pitch for Nintendo of America. This is a casting from the original mold for the sculpture. Avatar Creations was the descendant company of Streamline Model Works and ceased operation in 1997. This figure, along with numerous others from various licenses, were never released. So some of those we've seen before in my prototype videos. So let's get to it. As you can see, this is what I received. I have not really looked at it yet, but I peeked in to see none of it is painted. So this is like his shoe, and so he goes together like a kit, but I didn't really want to bother with putting him together. And there's also bob-on pieces in here. And this is, you can tell that this material is like sculpting clay. Here's his face. So you can see it's the real deal. There's his body. So this will be like the only time I ever look at it. There's the bob-on part. So you'd put them together and then you paint him Sorry for all the noise here. Let me get it all back together in this box. You'd put him together and you'd paint him, and then you'd present him, and then Nintendo would say yay or nay on the figure. Now, oftentimes you'll hear from companies that have a license, especially from Nintendo, that they have to submit the figure to Nintendo. This is a way of quality control with the figures. Sometimes you'll see shoddily made figures. Those are often bootlegs. So that's a way that I can see automatically that Nintendo didn't quality check, because now, and since about Mario 64 era, Mario looked a certain way. Now you'll see him, I mean, think about like Mario Party models in-game. That's like the Mario model. So when they see this character, and like now with the Jack specific figures, those are very specific Mario. Mario doesn't range much. You'll see size differences now, but he'll always look like a specific Mario. That's why it's fun to go back to the old days in like 1980s when Mario had many different looks. And Mario 64 did have a certain Mario flavor, but they really decided to develop a certain look for him at that point. So, was this accepted by Nintendo? We don't really know, because the company was dispersed, as they say. So we don't really know what came of this figure. Obviously, it wasn't released, but we don't know all the back dealings of it. We just know that either Nintendo didn't approve it, or the company dissolved before they were able to produce it. Looking at it, it looks really close to the Mario 64 art, the CG art. Whether Nintendo would have tweaked it or not. I know the guys from the Mega Man board game on the Kickstarter campaign, they've been sending things to Capcom, and they'll say, you know, tweak the mouth or tweak this. What I found interesting is when First 4 Figures had their Mega Man figure, a lot of people's like, that doesn't look like Mega Man, the face is wrong. And they decided to get rid of the really staunch marks on his face underneath his eyes. And it does appear that way in the art, but it looks weird on a figure. So they got rid of him, figure looks fine. So there's all sorts of different things when you're sculpting for action figures that can come about. And it's just really interesting. And this is a piece of history because it was never released. And come on, it would have made a great figure. Alright, well, stay tuned. There's more videos coming.